The Hall of Sovereigns was silent, unnaturally so. No murmured translators. No advisors whispering suggestions. No ceremonial music. Just me, standing alone on a polished obsidian floor, facing the most powerful being in the Heliorus expanse. Queen Marith of the Zalari Dominion. Her throne was grown, not built, a living structure of luminous stone and biometal that pulsed faintly with her heartbeat. She sat perfectly still, 6 dark eyes fixed on me with an intensity that made my skin prickle. "You've been avoiding my daughter," the Queen said. Her voice wasn't loud. It didn't need to be. "Yes, Your Majesty," I replied carefully. The temperature in the chamber dropped several degrees. "I am Lieutenant Daniel Cross, human diplomatic attaché to the Zalari Dominion." Humanity was still new to interstellar politics, respected for our adaptability, distrusted for our emotional unpredictability. We were guests here, walking a careful line between curiosity and catastrophe. Princess Talara, the Queen's daughter, had been assigned as my cultural liaison. Brilliant, curious, incredibly perceptive, and increasingly interested in me, which was exactly the problem. "You were chosen to represent your species," Queen Marith continued, rising from her throne. "My daughter has shown you nothing but courtesy and openness. Yet you avoid her presence. You reroute your schedules. You decline invitations." She stepped closer. "Why?" I swallowed. Because the truth was dangerous. I first met Princess Talara 3 months after arriving on Zalaris Prime. She was nothing like the cold, distant royalty I'd expected. She asked questions, too many of them, about Earth's oceans, about human music, about why we laughed when nervous. She learned quickly, too quickly. She laughed at my jokes, remembered my preferences, found excuses to join my briefings. Our conversations drifted from diplomacy into philosophy, emotion, identity. I noticed the change before she did. The way her bioluminescence softened when I entered a room. The way her voice lingered on my name. Among the Zalari, emotional bonding was rare and deliberate. Among humans, it was messy and deeply dangerous here. So I pulled back. I thought distance would protect us both. Apparently, it only caught the Queen's attention. "You believe you are unworthy?" Queen Marith asked, studying me closely. "No, Your Majesty." "Do you fear her station?" "No." "Then explain yourself," she demanded. "Now." I took a slow breath. "Because if I don't avoid her," I said, "someone will get hurt." Her eyes narrowed. "You presume harm from my daughter?" "No," I said quickly. "From the situation." She gestured sharply. "Clarify." So I did. The middle of the story spilled out of me. Not as an accusation, not as a confession, but as a truth long held back. I explained how human attachment worked, how we bonded through proximity and vulnerability, how feelings didn't wait for permission or political suitability. "I have seen the way Princess Talara looks at me," I said, "and I know what that means among humans." The Queen was silent. "Among my people," she said slowly, "interest is explored, not feared." "For humans," I replied, "interest becomes attachment. Attachment becomes loyalty, and loyalty becomes sacrifice." I met her gaze. "Your daughter deserves a future free of scandal, manipulation, or unintended obligation." Her fingers tightened slightly against the arm of her throne. "You believe she would sacrifice herself?" the Queen asked. "I believe I would," I said quietly. That stopped her. Queen Marith circled me slowly, every step measured. "You assume much responsibility for someone so young," she said. "I've seen what happens when humans don't," I replied. "We ruin good things by not understanding the cost of our emotions." She paused in front of me. You care for her, she stated. Yes, I admitted. Enough to step away. Her bioluminescence shifted, subtle, complex. I realized then that this wasn't anger. It was something closer to conflict. You deny her agency, the Queen said. I shook my head. I respect it. That's why I won't influence it. By absence, she challenged. By restraint, I answered. Silence filled the chamber. Then Queen Marith did something no one expected. She laughed. It was a low, surprised sound, almost disbelieving. For centuries, she said, other species have pursued my daughter for power, alliance, prestige. They cloaked desire in diplomacy and called it honor. She looked at me sharply. And you are the first to walk away because you fear loving her unfairly. I didn't respond. I asked why you avoided my daughter, she said softly. I did not expect this. She returned to her throne and sat slowly. You see her not as a symbol, she continued, but as a person whose future could be altered by your presence. Yes, I said. And I won't be the reason she's trapped between worlds. Her eyes softened, just slightly. The tension broke days later. Princess Talara confronted me herself. You are distant, she said, standing beneath the light trees of the inner gardens. Did I offend you? No, I said. You didn't. Then why? She pressed. I hesitated. Then I told her the truth. Not all of it, but enough. I care about you, I said. And that means being careful. She studied me in silence. In Zalari culture, she said, care is shown through closeness. In human culture, I replied, sometimes it's shown by stepping back. She considered this. You assume I cannot choose wisely, she said. I assume choice should be informed, I replied, including the risks. She looked away, bioluminescence flickering. My mother summoned you, she said quietly. I know. She will not punish you, Talara said, but she will test your honesty. I hope I passed, I said. She met my gaze. So do I. The ending came not with a decree, but with a conversation. Queen Marith summoned us both, mother and daughter, ruler and heir, alien royalty and human outsider. She spoke first. My daughter, the Queen said, you are not avoided out of disdain. I know, Talara replied. You are avoided out of respect, the Queen continued. Talara turned to me, surprised. I feared, the Queen said, that humans lacked emotional discipline. I was wrong. She faced me again. You chose restraint when opportunity was offered. You valued her future above your desire. She inclined her head, a gesture of rare acknowledgement. That is not weakness. Talara stepped closer to me. You still care, she said. Yes, I answered. Then do not disappear, she said. Just walk beside me more slowly. I smiled faintly. That I can do. Queen Marith watched us both. You have left me speechless, human, she said at last. Not because you rejected my daughter. She paused. But because you proved that humanity understands love well enough to fear misusing it. As we left the hall together, I realized something profound. Humanity didn't earn its place among the stars through power or ambition. We earned it when we learned that sometimes the bravest thing you can do is step back, tell the truth, and trust someone else's future more than your own desires.